1930s radios are complex and not very versatile. There are many reasons why you might not receive or transmit a message or be able to communicate with another station. We've created a specific page to check all these out. Radios require a 24-volt power supply. They are also backed up by rechargeable nickel-cadmium batteries. Of course, you need to switch on the radio and adjust the volume sufficiently to hope to hear something. Radios are equipped with an electronic tube called a vacuum bulb, which has now been replaced by transistors. Tubes are more precise and efficient than transistors, but they take up a lot of space, are fragile, and need to be heated before use. A heating voltage of 5 volts, for example over 70 degrees Celsius, is required to operate the vacuum lamps that amplify the signal. Radio waves propagate in the air. They are therefore sensitive and vary according to terrain, weather and time of day. At sunrise and sunset, reception is less good. Above the sea, without relief and carried by salt water, reception is better. Transmission and reception also depend on the antenna used. To avoid interference and achieve the best range, it's best to use an antenna with a length equal to a quarter of the chosen wavelength. In Europe, frequencies are specified in meters of wavelength, but in the USA, kilocycles per second or kilohertz are more commonly used. We've simplified these antenna lengths into a table. Note that antennas B, C, and D are therefore more limited than the main antenna, which is 120 meters long. In 1935, despite the power of radios, telephony audio was still of very poor quality and carried no more than 35 kilometers in good weather, so we only used Morse code. Don't forget to wind up the antenna cables before landing. The radio's quartz crystals are mounted on a metal disc that can be rotated to change frequency ranges rapidly. These frequency ranges overlap to a greater or lesser extent. The position of this disc is fine-tuned by means of an adjustment wheel. At the time, there were no precisely defined frequency positions. You had to listen for the best reception of the station identification and adjust the position of the quartz crystals. The radio is on, it's powered, the antenna is adjusted, the frequency is set and the bulbs are preheated. Only the distance to the station could be a problem. Ground stations as well as ships at sea have standard power radios with a range of 100 km or 50 nautical miles. Some major stations like Le Bourget have ranges of 250 km or 150 nautical miles. Some giant stations like Chatham Radio in the USA have ranges of up to 7,400 km or 4,000 nautical miles.